All right, hello, good morning. Co here from Girl on a Bus Adventures. How are we doing? And sorry, it took me a few minutes to get my hot chocolate. I do my best to kind of organize my time, and I forget about the part where it might actually take like a few minutes to get the hot chocolate. So we are at Granville Island. It is a beautiful day. I'm so excited to be able to show you some of the views. Good morning, good morning. I see we've got some friends on already. So excited. Um, so it took me a few minutes. Oh, hang on, where'd we go? There we go. Check this out. So it's so funny because I go to the Hot Chocolate Festival, and I've been doing this for about 5 or 6 years now. And I just go and I order the hot chocolate by name. This one's called Angel on a Cloud. And she's all like, "Do you want the combo?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just want the hot chocolate for the festival." And she's like, getting all technical, and I'm like, "Okay, I don't know what you're talking about for a combo. Like, what are you trying to say here?" She's like, "Oh, do you want like the cruffin with the hot chocolate?" I'm like, "Oh yes, I want the whole deal." So check this out. This is insane. This is the hot chocolate. So it's got a little bit of cotton candy, meringue. The hot chocolate itself is actually pink. I don't know if you see that. Yeah, pink, right? And it's a white hot chocolate. So good. And then it comes with, oh, it keeps falling off. There's a little cruffin hairpiece on top of our little cruffin here. So that is pretty fun. This one was $15. And there's a lot of sugar happening here. So I'm going to have some of this, and then I will enjoy my hot chocolate while we wander around. So I know I've done tours down here before, and a lot of people talk about the pie company from Granville Island. I'm going to take a bite here. Hopefully it's not too messy. And today's hot chocolate is actually from that pie company, A la Mode Pie Cafe. And it is, I mean, I didn't have to line up or anything. I was first in line. But it was busy today. Very, very busy. I'm curious to know what this is. I wonder if it's chocolate. It's cold and frozen, whatever it is. So when I'm done this part, sorry, I'm just looking at my screen here. Yeah, the chicken pot pie is so popular here. Once I'm done this little intro part and I've had some of my treats and stuff, we're going to head in and I'll take you back to the pie company, and we'll start there with a little bit of tour inside the market. Although right before we go in, we might head out and check out some of the views outside here before we head into the market, because I'll probably get distracted. Once we get inside, you got your hot chocolate? Awesome. Oh, man. Ooh, this is a lot of sugar. And as you all know, I was just in New Orleans last week, or earlier this week. I'm so messed up with my days and times because I was sick for a week before I headed down to New Orleans. So I was off work for a week. And I was in New Orleans, and now I'm back, and I kept thinking that yesterday was Saturday, even though I knew it wasn't. But, have you ever had that happen? I don't know that I've ever been to the Hot Chocolate Festival and gotten that many treats in one hot chocolate. I'm thinking back to the very first hot chocolate I did, or for the festival. And it was at a place that no longer exists. It was called Soiree. And it was a little macaron and French bakery shop here in Vancouver. And the funny part is that one was a little boozy. which is weird because we can't do the walk around thing in Vancouver with like alcohol, but nobody would have guessed that the hot chocolate had alcohol in it. Came in a tiny little cup, and it had lots of cotton candy and pink pretzels, and it had a unicorn face drawn on the cup. It was really cute. So a little bit, if you're new to this, about the Hot Chocolate Festival. This year, 2026, is the 16th year of it. And it's going on. So I missed the first few days, January 17th to February 14th. So today is my very first hot chocolate. I don't usually wait that long, but I thought I'll wait and do my first one with you guys online. This year, it's even bigger. There are 100 vendors, 234 flavors. So some places have 3 flavors. And there is a total of 168 locations. So some of the places have like 2 or 3 little locations of their shop. But all of the venues in the Hot Chocolate Festival are all small little mom and pop coffee shops. So the whole festival was basically really created to support all these little businesses, these little coffee shop businesses in January when things kind of get quieter after Christmas. And I know, way too many choices. So every year, new little coffee shops come in and join the fun. And then our Hot Chocolate Festival has actually inspired the city of Squamish, city of Victoria, and Calgary to also do the same thing and promote getting out to those little local businesses in January when things get quiet. In fact, the Squamish one hits right after our festival. And I don't remember, I think Victoria's is, yeah, it's probably around the same time because it's for the same reason. And by purchasing hot chocolate to the festival, we actually are donating to some nonprofits to do with food insecurities and opportunities for families to shop at like local farmers markets and things like that. So you're not just going out and having fun, but you're actually doing good for the community and you're supporting small businesses. So it's pretty cool. One day I'd like to go to Calgary for their hot chocolate festival, but I got to get a warmer jacket first. My best friend in Calgary just had her first baby. So I may be thinking when Rowan's a couple of years old, maybe we can take him around to the hot chocolate festival. I think that'd be really fun. Wow. If all the other hot chocolates are this good, I'm going to be a very happy girl. White chocolate is definitely my favorite. So to give you guys an idea, I was waiting for them to drop the schedule for this year's festival. And every year it seems to get later and later, which I'm assuming means they have new coffee shops coming on board, and maybe they're scrambling to kind of get things done last minute. And I was getting ready to leave for New Orleans, and like the Hot Chocolate Festival was only starting like maybe a week later, and I'm like, I need this to happen now because I need to do my research before I go to New Orleans. Literally, I was on the phone with my friend Alana, and I think it was the Friday night or the Saturday night before I left. And I'm like, for the 9 millionth time, I'm like, I'm just going to go in and check and see if they have the schedule posted yet. And they did, and I freaked out. And then I got pigeons checking me out. They're like, oh, I see that cruff. And I'm like, don't even think about it, dude. This is mine. So 9 o'clock or something on the Friday night, I discover they have the schedule out. I spent the next 3 hours poring over the schedule. So I do it by vendor. I look to see where it is. I look it up online to see how fancy the place is. I look at the flavors, and then I make a spreadsheet as I go through of all the ones that capture my attention that sound really good. And then I go back and I look at all the ingredients in the neighborhoods, and I narrow it down to 4 tour locations based on different neighborhoods and different drinks, because there's a lot of like strawberry flavor. There's a lot of white chocolate this year, a lot of fruit kind of infused ones. So I don't want to do all the same. In about 2 minutes, we're going to head out here. I'm going to pack up my cruffin to go, I think, because it'll travel well. So this hot chocolate, to give you the actual explanation of it, is called Angel on a Cloud. It's only available till the 29th, so that's one of the reasons I chose it to be my first. Plus, it's Granville Island. Plus, I live 25 minutes away, and I can walk down here in 25 minutes. So it's a hot white chocolate infused with pomegranate, cherry compote, and port, crowned with angel hair mousse, cotton candy basically. Angel cake sitting on a torched meringue halo. They describe it as a sophisticated, indulgent, tastes like a blissful delight paired with a figgy ume cruffin, butter flaked cruffin filled with a fig and ume plum reduction finished with spun angel hair cotton candy. Golden bite of East meets West serenity. So I'm going to try and pack up my little cruffin here to go. Luckily, I grabbed a ton of extra napkins. And that might be a treat for me later at Lego. Nice little treat on my break today. I'm going to start packing up so we can go wander in just a moment here. You guys are funny today. I love it. Research this week, having a bunch of milk and white chocolate to see if I'm wrong. All right, we're just about ready. I'm going to pack it up in my backpack and finish off this little treat. And then next week, on the 30th of January, their next hot chocolate is going to be Brie My Valentine. Isn't that cute? And it's hot, bittersweet cocoa. With molten brie and Swiss cheddar brulee with passion mango marshmallow, served with a pear brulee blue cheese tart. Oh, holy. I actually took, they had a mock-up picture of their hot chocolate today, so I actually got a picture of it. So I'm going to post it later so you can get a proper look at just how absolutely ridiculously fantastic this one was. I'm just going to pack up my stuff here. Oh my gosh, my fingers are all sticky from this. Good thing I brought my hand sanitizer to clean them off. I have to squeeze in my tours in a shorter amount of time. So I'm doing another one on Wednesday. Then another one next Saturday, and then probably the following Wednesday will be, or the Saturday will be my fourth one. And in between, I'm going to be going to different ones as well. I'll take pictures and post them for everybody so you can see. Tomorrow I'm really excited. I'm going with my friends April and Amanda. And we're going all the way out to Coquitlam. So that's about 3 cities away. It's going to take like an hour and something to get there by bus. And I can't remember why we're going, but it's the Cassandra Cake Company. And 2 years ago, their hot chocolate had a mini dessert flight sitting across the top of it. So that was pretty wild. And just like a typical weekend here, we actually have somebody playing some live music out back. I don't know if you can hear it or not through my headphones. And it's not too cold. I couldn't find any seating inside. So we're sitting outside today. But it is quite warm inside the market. So once I go in, I'm not too worried. If I get a little chilly out here, I'll be able to warm up when I get inside. All right, we are just about ready to roll, my friends. I'm just looking for the nearest garbage. I think it's over there. Pack up my notes here, and then we're going to get moving. Yay. Oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, we have literal blue sky right now. We've had so much rain for the last couple of months. I'm so excited to see sunshine today. Because honestly, Granville Island is just better in the sun. I'm going to be honest. It is better when it's sunny. All right. How to juggle all of this. Drink down a little more hot chocolate. I'm actually going to turn the screen around now so you can start seeing what is going on out here in the world of Granville Island today. Okay, let's do this one. There we go. All right, so we're going to start walking. I just have to be very coordinated to grab my hot chocolate and the camera and get my garbage ready to be thrown out. So here we go. This is the little area, the picnic area in the back of the market, right on the waterfront. You come down here in the summer when it is hot and sunny and you have to fight for a seat and you have to guard your food with your life. Because the seagulls will take you down for your French fries. So go have a little look while we're down at this end. That's my favorite burger spot right in there. When I'm in the mood for a good burger, I'll usually come down here. Or if I want salmon and chips, I come down here. Here we are at False Creek, where all the little aqua buses go. So all those teeny tiny little buses hold about 10 to 12 people. And they bounce around False Creek here to all the different tourist attractions. Here we go. We got somebody playing music over here.
Moi je t'offrirai perles de pluie, venues de paille où il ne
And
pleut
all the
pas.
buildings over there
Je creuserai la terre
are the south
jusqu'à
end
ton amour.
of downtown Vancouver. So there's two different little boat companies that run around the harbor here. One is the False Creek Ferries, and the other is the Aqua Buses. The bridge right here is Granville Street Bridge. And all the way, looking as far as you can, and just out of view off to the left would be where Science World is. Where Science World is the big, I call it the, looks like a golf ball kind of. It's shiny, and it was built for Expo 86. And then for the 2010 Olympics, it was the Russian Sochi house where the rumors stated that the vodka was free-flowing throughout the whole Olympics. Of course, everything in Vancouver right now is under construction, as you can see, because we have FIFA coming. That is going to be absolutely wild. And I'm about to go out and start doing TikTok videos to learn all about Vancouver for the tourists coming for FIFA, much like I did it for Taylor Swift, except that for Taylor it was easier because I'm a Swiftie and I just took her album titles and turned them into things to do in Vancouver. Whereas I'm going to have to brush up on all my footy knowledge to do anything for the FIFA guys. People, I should say. Guys makes me sound like I'm assuming that everybody is a man that's coming. And that is not how I roll. So again, this is a little picnic area. And we're gonna head, maybe we'll go back in this way. They have here the patio seating for the Market Grill. That's what it's called. The burger joint is called Market Grill. Oh, I tell you, juggling the camera, the plate, the hot chocolate, me getting it out here, that was a small feat. So here we are inside, and we're going to start. Right here is the Market Grill. And I think I usually get the California burger or something like that. It's usually got avocado and stuff. Or sometimes I get the whiskey barbecue as well. Lots of little artisans today out and about with all their goods. And we're going to wander around this side and we'll go over to Alamo Pie. So I was reading a little bit today about this company, and apparently this is Blake Lively's favorite place to go for pie. Of course, she's married to Ryan Reynolds, who is a good old Vancouver boy. Love all these little goods here. Little hearts, a little bit perfect for Valentine's Day coming up. And the stock market, maybe we'll just take a quick look. Often if I'm coming down just to wander, I will pick up just a few little things here. I like the butters here. So they've got like fresh herb butter, serious garlic butter, white truffle butter, furious garlic. Ooh, that sounds serious. And lemon caper butter, and a garlic Asiago, and Parmesan butter, and ooh, basil, lime, and chili butter. How does that sound to you guys? Lots of beautiful jewelry in here. All right. Trying to, usually me, 10 things at once, right? See, they are some weird combinations for sure, yes. So this gives you an idea of what their pies look. Oh my gosh. Coconut cream pie, that's amazing. It's a lot of fluffy meringue, raspberry rhubarb. Oh, my mom always made rhubarb pies growing up. And banana cream pie. Woo! And then they have this freezer and fridges over here. Pecan tarts, chocolate, macadamia, pistachio, strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, bumbleberry, lemon, pumpkin pie, cottage pie. Cinnamon roll, apple pie. Woo! This all just looks so good, doesn't it? There is a lot of people down here today having the little individual single pot pie dishes. I'll see if maybe I can get a look around the other side. This area is a little bit squishy right at the moment. Let's see if we can. There we go. Here's some over here. More sweet treats from Alamo. Dubai chocolate. Dubai chocolate is such a big thing right now. Oh, here we go. This is that's what the hot chocolates look like. So you can get it for here or to go. Not so they're so cute. And then we've got corn chowder, clam chowder, mushroom, chicken, vegan chowder bread bowl, broccoli quiche, spinach quiche, beef pan pie, mac and cheese pie. That's probably the one I'd go for. All right, it's super busy there. We're going to go out and stroll around the market if we can get through here. Now this place here I like. They do like half roasted chickens in interesting flavors. Never had any of their sandwiches. Do they have any? Yes, they have some chickens today. Oh, honey rosemary and garlic herb. Ooh, honey rosemary. You might have to come back for one of those one day. I like it. So at the stock market, at the soup place, you can get soup there. Kind of reminds me of the soup place at Lonsdale Key, which is now called, not the Soup Meister, but like the Nephew something. Oh, and here we go. You've been on my tours before down here. This is always my favorite place. Let's see if they have any new flavors today. Sake, candy pecans, gin fizz, maple caramel, coffee, jasmine. Little note about Granville Island special flavors and working with locals. Ooh, Reese's cup. Grapefruit mimosa as a macaron. What do you guys think about that flavor? Gummy bears, Gouda. Oh yeah, and this is, I always send my guests down here to get the savory macarons, because they do Gouda and chives. Okay, we're back to the regulars. Cherry custard, Nutella, champagne, Kahlua chocolate, blackberry yuzu, Bubble gum. I love the watermelon ones in the back there. There's just one left. It looks like a watermelon. Fuzzy peach, pineapple, root beer float, cranberry, ginger ale. Ooh, that would be good. Sea salt espresso, rose lychee, raspberry grapefruit, mandarin lychee, pecan brittle, pear jasmine, matcha lavender spiced. Oh my gosh, those spiced pears are so cute. The green ones there, and the cranberry white chocolate. And then we've got mango passion fruit, blueberry dark chocolate, dulce lime, yuzu. Sure, thank you. All right, I got a sample one. Another reason I love coming here. And now we're down where a lot of the savory ones are. So we've got truffle and pink salt, tomato basil, bacon, goat cheese and fig, goat cheese, beetroot and honey. Then we got some more sweet ones on the bottom with salted caramel, tiramisu, creme brulee, chocolate decadence, pistachio, fieldberry, Earl Grey, and pure vanilla. Now, during the pandemic, I actually came down here and did classes. They have a whole little kind of office-y place where they do their classes down here on the island. And when I did my 50th birthday party back in May, I actually came down here and got all the turquoise, maybe silver or something, macarons to put on our dessert tower for the party. Welcome, Tina. I had the hot chocolate already because we started about a half hour ago. But you'll be able to catch the repeat. That's the tail end of my hot chocolate. It's pink. It's white chocolate. But you'll be able to go back later and watch from the beginning, and you'll see how crazy the whole thing was. Like, it was so, wow, like, outstanding. I'm going to tell all my friends they have to come down to Granville Island and get it. I also love looking at all the desserts. I love a good tiramisu. I also actually like making tiramisu myself. And I'm always up for a Black Forest cake as well. Look at those little minis. Every now and then I go to the cheap grocery store and I shop there a lot, but sometimes when I go, they have these like freezer cakes and they have a Black Forest and they're like $5. They're not that great, but sometimes you just need a little something. But should actually come down here and get the mini real Black Forest for $7.50. Plus, it's less cake. Here we go, Nanaimo bars. This is a thing for Vancouver. Nanaimo bars were created over on Vancouver Island in the city of Nanaimo. It was some ladies who were doing something at their church, some kind of fundraiser or dinner, and they wanted to do something slightly different. So they took a recipe that was already in existence. I think by it might have even been one of those like Joy of Cooking recipes or something. Don't quote me on that though. And she modified it and added, I think it was a layer of custard just to give it one extra layer and make it a little more decadent. Look at how they do all their fruits and vegetables. People amaze me some days and not in a good way. Those towers, I would not be able to do that. They would be falling all over the place all the time. And of course, we're also down here. It amazes me that people can see the camera and still just walk right into me. This is our Lee's Donuts. We have one right underneath our office at Big Best West Coast. See if they have any different flavors today. I remember I did one of my first tours down here around Lunar New Year, and they had one, but I think we're still a bit early for them to be doing that kind of stuff. Pretty sure Lunar New Year. I was asking my coworkers at work last night, and they were saying that it's I think close to. It's actually about the same time as Mardi Gras. Look at these. I saw these and had to come back and show you. Look at these charcuterie cups.
That's okay.
14.28. Seems like a pretty decent deal. They look pretty fancy. They got a good little selection of things in them. Isn't that cool? Or look at that, charcuterie shots for $12.99. Mini dried pork sausages sampler. That's funny.
哎，我们去分好不好？我们去外面坐着分。因为他没给我。对啦，那我们谁有聊？
I really am quite impressed by these strawberry towers. So as I was walking onto the island today, I passed by Kids Market, and out the back of Kids Market, there's a little pond, and it's cold enough in Vancouver that the pond is frozen over. There is no ducks down there today. Ooh, look at all this pasta. Free apple and caramelized onion, rainbow four cheese, chicken spinach, butternut squash, lemon and ricotta. I bought a container of ricotta cheese about a month ago. It is not cheap, and it was recommended. I don't know, it's something you could use in your meals and cooking and stuff for being like diabetic friendly. Doesn't show very good. Let me get in closer. And I do not like the texture of ricotta cheese. I like those little blue dark Tahitian vanilla ones. Look at the little ladybugs. They're so cute. Oh my goodness. And the bumblebees. I love it. Very creative. Imagine giving one of those boxes as a gift for somebody. See if I can get the glare out of there a little bit. 16-piece elegance box, all domes, $46.95. Or here's one in a little tin, 20-piece made with a tin, $54.95. Let's go take a look at the flowers today. See what we have. Carnation bunches. Ooh, tinted carnations. I like these. You know, that'd be amazing if you had a box of chocolates in a chocolate box. Oh, Germinis. I love Gerber daisies. Gerbers are my favorite. I like these big sunflowers. Pretty cool. Birds of paradise at the top here. Every now and then I buy myself a few little Gerber daisies just because they're so happy looking and beautiful colors. And then this is kind of like a little bit almost partly of a food court down here. Came down here once because I use that Too Good To Go app. And basically it's leftover food that they sell for 30% of the original cost. But you don't know what it is. It's just kind of like whatever. So you basically are ordering a surprise bag. And a lot of people use it as they travel because you can get leftover sometimes restaurant meals and then just put it in your hotel fridge for the next day. This is Fraser Valley Juice and Salad. So I came down here once because Terra Breads had a thing, and I ended up getting 4 huge artisan loaves of bread for like, I don't know, $8 or something. It was crazy. So I gave 2 were cheese bread, 2 were regular. Everybody's just running me over today. And I sliced up 1 of each and threw it in my freezer. And then I gave the other 2 loaves to a friend. I figure if I'm getting a deal that good, it's good to share. And this is where I get my salmon and chips from Celine's. And I send everybody here, say, don't get the regular fish and chips, get the salmon and chips, because that's a Vancouver thing. We have Blue Parrot Coffee right at the back here. I've never actually had coffee here because I like to go to True Coffee up on the top of the island. So I think we'll do a little wander out on this side. It's mostly just breads and bakeries. I'll show you some more of the view. Oh, can I? Oh yeah, no, I can go this way. So over here on this side, we have the beautiful Burrard Street Bridge. And I'll get to a place hopefully where I can get you a clear picture of it, where there isn't scaffolding all around. So the Burrard Street Bridge was built during the Great Depression, and they built it because they wanted to be able to give people a job during the Great Depression. So they built that bridge just to make sure people could feed their families. Let's go the other way there. There we go. And straight out past the Burrard Street Bridge is the very beginnings of Stanley Park. I think the seagulls are trying to tell me they're hungry, but there's not really anything I can do about it. So there we are looking back at the Granville Street Bridge. Now, this is actually the second version of the Granville Street Bridge. The very first one was a little bit further over, and it was only something like 10 feet above the water, and it was built out of wood, and it was wide enough for 2 horse and buggies to go side by side or pass each other. And it was built in 1889. And the reason I know this is because when I was doing all my Taylor stuff, I was trying to equate her 1989 title album to something in Vancouver. The only thing I could find was that the original Granville Street Bridge was built in 1889. So that was 3 years after Vancouver officially became Vancouver. And actually, Vancouver was originally called Granville after the second Earl. Granville, what was the name? Levinson. He had a dual last name. And so they called it originally Granville, the whole city. And then decided to change the name when the Canadian Pacific Railway was expanding all the way out west. They wanted to have some cities, or they wanted it to have a name that was more like recognizable on a map. And at the time, they already had Vancouver Island because, of course, Victoria was the big city for British Columbia. And so they actually changed it to Vancouver so that it was synonymous with Vancouver Island. Isn't this just a beautiful... I can't get over this blue sky today. If you'd seen all the miserable rain we've had, you would understand. Or maybe you already do. We got some cranes over there with some buildings going up. That is on Indigenous land. They are building 3 giant towers. And some of it will be residential. Some of it will be office space. And I think some retail space as well. And it's being built and developed specifically to give Indigenous folks kind of a helping hand in, I think, starting businesses and things like that. So we've never had high rises over there before, so it's been a little bit controversial. But whatever, it is what it is. And I like the thought of helping people out. Yeah, the salmon and chips is so good. When I want to just sit and kind of relax and just do nothing and just have a little me time, I will often come down here to Granville Island and do that down here just because it's so pretty. And of course, mostly when I have downtime, it is the winter like this. So it's quite nice to sit inside, although it was quite beautiful sitting outside having my hot chocolate. It's not as cold as I think it's around, I think I saw on my phone that's around 8 or 9 degrees Celsius. So it is warmer than it was when I was in New Orleans. First night I came back, it was 2 degrees Celsius, which was far too cold for me. We'll go do a little exploring here. I found a soap shop down here that's really good. So my birth mom had mentioned that she was out of patchouli soap, which I kind of thought, doesn't like every artisan soap maker make patchouli soap? Like, isn't that a thing? And because I feel like every time I go to like a craft market, there's always patchouli. And it's not one of my favorite scents, but my birth mom loves it. And she was out of it. So a couple of days before Christmas, I'm out and I totally put off going to get her soap because I was like, oh, there's all those like maker stores and there's another little shop near me that's all artisan stuff. Like any one of these places are going to have patchouli. And it's not a thing right now for those little shops. I went to a couple of different places. I called around. Nobody had them. And then I was like, wait a second. I wonder if there's any soap shops at Granville Island because it's such an artisan kind of spot, right? There's like drum shops and galleries and pottery places and everything you can think of. So I started calling around, and this one guy was like, one shop was like, oh yeah, I think I have some, come on down, right? And I'm like, I don't have time for I think I have some. This Mexican restaurant's been here for quite some time, very popular. And so then I call the next place and they're like, oh yeah, we've got like 4 or 5 different kinds of patchouli. Come on down. And like, I will be right there. So I hopped on a bus and came on down. And I was trying to do a whole bunch of things all in one day, right? So of course you're trying to like trip chain everything on the buses and coordinate it all. And I had to come down to Granville Island, which is a little bit out of the way, but like not too bad. But then I had to laugh because, of course, the soap shop was in like the furthest away spot on Granville Island almost that it could ever be. So I had to go through the whole island and off to the side. But then I found really cool patchouli soap blocks that had fleur-de-lis on them, and in my family we all love French stuff, so the fleur-de-lis was perfect, and ooh, did she love that soap. So I was really happy I came all the way down here. Lots of people waiting for the little ferries today. So we have the Vancouver Museum off to our left, not Science World, Space Center, and the St. Roch Maritime Museum all off to the left. And as I said, Science World down that way. Olympic Village is closer down towards where Science World is. And then it also docks on the other side somewhere across here, or maybe it's closer down by the arenas. One of them docks over by the Vancouver Aquatic Center, which is down by the Burrard Street Bridge. I always think there's a view when I'm walking down this way from my apartment. There is a specific view where, let me see here. See if I can point to it. Right above my finger. It's hard to see from this angle, but from like 8 blocks up a hill, it actually looks like a cruise ship, that apartment building. It's kind of funny. So there's a cool little gift shop back here. What do I call these? Scarves. And a hat. Animal hats. Hang on. Explain how to get to Granville Island from Vancouver. Is that your question? From downtown Vancouver, you can take the number 50 bus, and it'll bring you right to the top of Granville Island. And it goes right from in front of Waterfront Station all the way up Granville Street, making several stops. Ooh, affogato coffee. Okay, this was the soap store in here that I came to get my mom's soap. Sorry, I'm just stopping to read comments for a sec. Yeah, so if you're in downtown Vancouver, anywhere around Granville Street or Waterfront Station, you just take the number 50 bus all the way over the Granville Street Bridge, and it loops around and stops in front of True Coffee right at the top of Granville Island. Just walk down the walkway. Hi, is it okay to bring my camera in here?
Of course you can bring it
Yeah.
in, yeah, but no video. No.
Oh, okay. I came and bought soap here right before Christmas, and I wanted to show people how cool your shop was. But if you don't want video, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
No, that's fine.
yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. Love it when they apologize. Sorry. No, I was just trying to do some free advertising for you. So if you don't want it, that's okay. We're good. Let's wander around here and head back. I think I should go out to the street. There's a cute little, these little ferries are so funny because they literally, like, any of the rides you go on with them aren't more than maybe 20 minutes if you went from one end to the other. I took my nieces on one once when they were really little, and it was only like we were going from, I guess we were going to Granville Island from the other side of town, and it really only took 5 minutes to get there. And I think my niece thought she was going on like a really big ferry, and totally just was like, she was laughing so hard I thought she was almost crying because it was such a short little ride. I loved it. So Granville Island is very much an arts community. They have theater, sports, they have improv theater here. The Fringe Festival uses a lot of the little theaters. There's a lot of little nonprofit theaters down here on Granville Island. And I like that bicycle there. And so during Fringe Festival, because they're all generally smaller shows, they use a lot of these theaters down here. In fact, they always do BYOV, a bring your own venue during Fringe. And one year, somebody was doing a one-person play or act or show, and they did it from a fire escape in the back of a building at Granville Island. Isn't that, I don't know, brilliant, interesting, intriguing? One of my former colleagues at the Lego store years ago, actually, we came down to see one of his shows for improv. That was pretty cool. Now, the market itself is actually 6 different old warehouses put together, connected. So originally this was a big sandbar that the indigenous folk, I'm going to sit for just a minute. The indigenous folk used to do fishing and hunting and gathering down here. Then in around 1916, they started doing things like turning it into warehouses. They built parts for ships. I think World War II ships down here. And they, around the 1960s, they basically stopped using the warehouses. And then they kind of sat empty for like a decade. They're like, I don't know what we're going to do with this. So I'm going to pop this down for a sec because one of my earbuds is low battery. So I'm going to pop it into charge so that I'm not listening to this in my ear. So anyways, they sat empty. And then they were like, we really need to do something with this land. There's a lot of it down here. There's all these buildings. So they actually took 6 of the buildings and kind of sort of connected them all together so that they could do something with it. And then they were like, well, I don't know what we're going to do with it. And then in the mid 70s, they started to turn it into more of like a community space. And then when we won the bid to have Expo 86, that is when they really seriously started developing into this market, because they're like, well, we've got downtown and we've got malls and we've got like Metro Town and things like that, but we need more things for the tourists to do. So that's when they actually started developing this whole Granville Island area into more shopping. It's got that artsy feel, but also like people live down here right on the island. They shop at the market to do their groceries. We have a community center down here as well. Also, the Vancouver International Jazz Festival uses some of the venues down here and usually does a free show in one of the parks. There's even a little hotel down here, the Granville Island Hotel. And back in the early 2000s, the Granville Island Hotel bar was the place to come to listen to jazz music. In fact, the very first fundraiser I worked on for the Adoptive Families Association of BC, we had a New Orleans themed jazz night fundraiser. Huge event. And the band that played on Saturday nights down at Granville Island Hotel actually donated their evening, their time, and came down and played jazz all evening for our little fundraiser event. So that was pretty awesome. I've done a lot of volunteer work down here for the Jazz Festival. I volunteered for Fringe Festival, though not here. I was up on Commercial Drive. And they also have, I was trying to get in to volunteer with the Arts Umbrella, which is a fantastic nonprofit that is basically, they say art, like dance, anything artsy, classes for kids aged 2 to 22. And it started in a lady's basement when there was nothing in this area for her kids to do for like dance classes and stuff. So she created her own, and then it grew into this big thing. And they got some space down here, but they were always having to like rent space for their recitals. And the Emily Carr Art School was down here for years, and they built a new campus and moved out, and then Arts Umbrella got their old campus. All the little lantern lights down here. Lots of Indigenous artwork. So we're going to head back up towards the end of the island here. We've been doing this for about an hour now, my friends. Lovely to have all of you here on this beautiful sunny day in Vancouver. And it's a bit of a walk uphill to go home, so I think I'm going to be lazy today and take the bus at least to the Granville Loop. Because I do have a shift later at Lego, and I did walk all the way down here, so I don't want to tire myself out entirely before I get to work. To the Improv Center coming along up here. And there's lots more independent little shops and stores here. I mean, you could honestly, between going for lunch and having snacks and all that, you could spend a good chunk of a day here. They also do boat tours from down here as well. And we went out on Zodiac boats. One of the perks of working in tourism. is getting to go on all these different things, to go and try out all our partner things. So it was pretty wild. They took us way, way, way far up the coast, like up past Squamish and everything, on these crazy little Zodiac boats. And then we were doing donuts around a big tanker in the middle of the ocean. Over there we have Tony's Fish and Oyster Cafe. I do quite like that little spot. They do an oyster, fried oyster, I want to say sandwich, maybe kind of like a po' boy, but not quite. This is the kids only market. They do allow adults in, obviously. And they even have a little caboose that is the Granville Island Treatery down there. Their big Granville Island Brewery, established in 1984, as it says on the sign there. Now, this was the first company to do microbrewing, small batch beer in Vancouver. And when I used to work at St. Paul's Hospital, the bosses would take us out for drinks on a Friday, probably about once a month. And I learned very quickly that if you drank beer, they would pay for your beer. But if you drank hard alcohol, like a rum and coke or whatever, then you had to pay for your own. So I would drink the Granville Island Maple Ale. All these Playmobil sets. Playmobil became popular over here when I was too old for these toys. But I do love it. I used to buy it for my daycare. And every now and then I buy a little set for myself just because they're so cute. Princess Magic sets and everything. Oh, it's just called Kids Market, not kids only. Look at that, we got some Lego here. This one, the little axolotl set, is one of my favorites right now because it comes with two teeny tiny little axolotls. It's my obsession at the moment. You guys are welcome. This has been so much fun. We're going to walk by the pond and then I will say goodbye. Here is the licorice parlor. It has a story behind it. Something to do with somebody in Vancouver. And I don't remember what the story is. I was trying to remember and I didn't have enough time to go and look it up. But it looks like a glorious little shop. All these different kinds of candies. I like how they're all in like big jars. Those canning jars. I'm a fan of canning jars at the moment.
It's not very nice. Mom has a cat that's not very nice. I think I.
Here we go. Here's our big old frozen pond. No ducks today. There's a big playground. There used to actually be a water slide park back here somewhere that I used to sometimes come to with my friend in the summer and the kids that she was nannying. It's pretty wild. All right. Can we see? Oh, I don't see the pirate ship today either. Maybe it's in hiding for winter. All right, let me flip this around here. Ooh, my fingers are starting to get a little bit chilly. And all the way down, all the way down. Oh, here we go. There we are. Well, hello. So this is it. This is our little tour of Granville Island today. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of it. For those of you who catch it on the replay, do a hashtag replay later. Let me know you were here. Of course, my tours are always free to join. Tips supported through buymeacoffee.com /girl on a bus. I also have the link, I believe, on my Facebook and my YouTube channel as well. And it always helps if you know there's a tour coming up that you think your friends and family might like. I would love it if you would share the links with everybody. That would be fantastic. I enjoy showing everybody my city and whatever city I'm in, and New Orleans as well, of course. And what a great way to spend a Saturday morning showing you guys around Granville Island. It has been a pleasure. I cannot see my screen. I'm going to turn it around a little bit here. And you are welcome. I am going to head back home and have a little rest and get ready to go to work at Lego this afternoon at 4 o'clock. So again, I have posted in my Girl on a Bus Adventures group on Facebook the next couple of tours. Also put them through my profile, and we've got them as well on the live stream events calendar. So lots of places to find the links. And then I'm going to work on creating some more tours, probably more towards spring once the Hot Chocolate Festival is over. And I kind of figure out what I'm doing after that, because I'm going to run around and do some, like I said, some TikTok videos for all the FIFA friends coming to town, help them kind of figure out how to get around Vancouver and what cool stuff they should do. And that's going to be done mostly through my TikTok, some of it through YouTube. And again, if anybody wants to learn more about Vancouver or is maybe thinking about coming, of course, you can go check out my TikTok channel and see all the fun ways that I promote Vancouver. So with that, thanks for being here. I hope you have a magical rest of your day, my friends. And until next time, thanks so much. Have a good one.